So, most often in life where we go wrong, usually, is in hearing the voices external to us. We hear every voice except our own. We hear every voice external, but not the one internal. And the idea of walking in one's own power, which is the topic that I'm going to talk about, the idea of walking in one's own power is exactly that you only do hear your own voice. The voice in here, the voice internal to oneself. Um, it's not much more complicated than that. It's a matter of execution, as with a lot of things, as with everything really. It's just a matter of execution. It's very arguably the hardest thing that we'll ever do in our lives. It's a different type of battle. It's the unseen, right? Like you can't actually see it. You can't actually hear that voice. So it's something like a matter of faith, of knowing that you it's know thyself. It's an incredibly deep process of introspection. Um, you really have to have faith in yourself. One of the greatest forms of the darkness is doubt. Doubt and fear are two of the greatest forms that it takes, and those are lethal. Those are absolute killers. Like there's a saying that fear has killed more dreams than failure has. It's kind of a great epitome uh, of the phenomenon itself. So it's all these voices and doubt and fear, but two of them, big ones granted, but all these external voices, everything we hear that swirls all around us, it doesn't matter, because the only thing that affects any change at the end of the day is what we do. And that's not like a motivational line, that's just truth. That's just the God's honest truth. The only thing that makes a goddamn difference is what we do. It's one of those things that has to sink in. I can say it all day long. There's a difference in understanding and understanding, right? There's a difference to kind of know a fact and for it to, I don't know, like to truly sink into your soul. It's really hard to explain. There is a sort of epiphany that happens, and you just have to kind of have that epiphany. You kind of just have to grasp it. But truly, nothing else matters. That is only what we do. And it's hard. I mean, it's hard. I mean, you're gonna have family members who are gonna hate on you. You're gonna have friends who are gonna hate on you. You're gonna have randos who are gonna hate on you. You're gonna have just you're gonna hear all kinds of voices. Your own, like again, it doesn't even have to be the voices of other people. I'm just using those as easy examples that we all probably deal with, but again, they can take they can take all those internal manifestations. Sometimes I talked about doubt and fear. It can be confusion, hatred. I'm not sure I can like there's this. I mean, the list could go on and on. So there's just a million of them. I won't even complicate it. It really doesn't even matter. The point is that there are just a million and one voices external to ourselves, and not a goddamn one of them makes a difference. The only one that does is this one. So we have to learn to walk in our own power. We have to have faith in ourselves to know that we are walking the path of righteousness, of purpose, of truth. We just have to. Like it's really as simple as that. It's just like I said from the very beginning. It's just hard in execution. It's the thing itself, the idea itself. Again, you have to have that epiphany with it. But the idea itself is easy enough. It's just a matter of executing on it. So you just have to walk in your own power. I mean, if you truly know, like if you truly know, then it just becomes time. Time tells all. Y'all check out Killer Cross on Instagram. He has a quote that I love, and I mean I live by it, not because he said it, but it really is the driving force of my life too. That no matter, I may have said it, you may have heard me say it before, but that no matter where the time is told, everyone pays the toll. And it couldn't speak more loudly or more truly. There there is always a price to pay. And the thing about walking in your own power is that you're paying the price in the moment. That it's a long journey of investment, it's a long road of work, and number one, nobody else is really going to see that in you. Nobody else is really going to see what you're doing. You're going to be lucky if you see it most days. And that's where you have those voices are internal, but I would almost classify them as external, because they're external to this. They're still outside of this center of truth in you. Those other voices of doubt and fear, all those voices of the darkness, they live up here. So bottom line, they're all external in one way or another. And all these voices talk to you, and they all want to tell you, no, you need immediate gratification. You need to make it happen now. Thing about walking in your own power is it doesn't happen right now. Nothing happens right now. Thing about walking in your own power is knowing in the deepest core of your being that you are doing what you need to be doing, but that it's just not going to manifest right now. The end product's just not going to manifest right now. It's going to take who the hell knows how long. It just depends. It literally, honestly, just depends on the endeavor. Maybe another week. Everything is by degree and severity, right? So, I mean, let's take an extreme, because the best way we kind of illustrate or highlight a truth is by, well, illustrating or highlighting the extreme. So, I mean, like, if you, like, one of my favorite guys is Gary Vaynerchuk, right? And he talks about, like, if you want to build one of the biggest businesses in the world, you know, it's gonna take you a lifetime. Like, to honestly do that will take you decades. So if you want to walk that path, then you have to walk in your own power and know that what you're doing right now in this moment, what you did yesterday, what you're doing today, what you're going to do tomorrow, what you're going to do next week and next month, what you're doing right now matters, and that 25 years down the road, you will be Jeff Bezos or Buffett or whatever. I don't love those examples because it just sounds like it's about money or whatever, but it's just an easy example that we can all kind of relate to, and that's why I said you just got to use the extremes to illustrate the example. So you just have to walk in your own power right now and know and trust, and it's beyond trust. The thing about faith is that it's like knowledge beyond knowledge, like the way that I talk about sight beyond sight, being able to see something that you really can't see, being able to know something that you really can't know in this case. That's walking in your own power. You just know. I can't explain it to you. You can't explain it to your damn self. I can't explain it to my damn self. We just know. Somehow, some way, we just know. And that's enough. That truly is enough. That's what you have to wrap your head and your heart around, is that truly is enough. You don't need the affirmation of anybody else, anything else. You don't even necessarily need your own affirmation. It's just something that exists. Like, it just is, with a capital I. It just is. Fate and purpose and truth, these things, they're part of the cosmos, and the way that this whole damn thing spins. It just, like, it is. It just is. And if you are walking in line with truth, in line with your purpose, if you are walking in one with the great cosmos, if you're in line with the universe, it's just gonna happen. It's not going to happen tonight. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's going to happen. It is a matter of being in line with truth. These things are universal. What most people are doing in life, in this world, is taking the easy, quick way. And what happens is that it looks like they're getting by. Because, right now, in the moment, in the present, yeah, they're gravy. You know, they got the comfort and the ease and the luxury, and it's all gravy. But the thing about the guy who's putting up right now is that his yield is going to be so much greater. I'm laughing because I can't even explain why I'm laughing. It's just a certain level of insight. Like, once you attain it, there is no yield greater than that of truth, or that is in line with truth. There is no greater yield than that of your purpose. The one damn thing that you were set on this earth to do. Like, guys, I don't know about God and all that. Like, I can't tell you. Like, I mean, I absolutely believe in something bigger. I can't tell you what it looks like, what its name is. It doesn't matter to me. Something, somehow, somewhere, some way set us here. We're not just. I mean, this is not meant to turn into a like theological discussion by any means, but like there's a reason we're here, and I always, you will hear me say a million time and time over, keep it simple, stupid, guys. I don't know why, but keeping it simple, like we're here for a reason, and that's all I need to know. That's all any of us need to know. And the thing is, if we are here for a reason, then guys, it's super simple. Keep it simple, stupid. If we're here for a reason, then why would we do anything other than fulfill that reason? I mean, think about that. If this is just simple, like logical deduction, really. If we indeed are here for a purpose, then what the fuck are we doing if we are not fulfilling that purpose? What the fuck are we doing, honestly? See, people are missing this. It's really simple. It's just that it's hard, right? It's simple, but it's hard. And that's the thing. It's the difference in ease of principle and ease of execution. So it's not kind of a hard thing to understand in principle. It's executing on it, to understand that, okay, great, we're here for a purpose, and so great, I need to make my way toward that purpose, to that great bright light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, great, nice principle. Now do it. Now go do it. Go spend the next. And again, it depends on the instance of the situation, but I'm kind of just using general, broad, blanket statement example. Go spend the next 10 years of your life fulfilling it, executing on it. Right? That's another thing you'll hear Gary talk about. Gary V, y'all check him out for sure. He's one of my favorites. He can say a lot of this stuff better than I can, but like he talks a lot about that, where the execution, and that's like, not to turn this into a Gary Vaynerchuk conversation, but like that's what this ultimately is. It is execution, and basically most people are just taking the easy way out. They really are. And the thing is, going back to the point about no matter where the time is told, everybody pays the toll. They'll pay in the end. People call it karma, etc., whatever. It has different names. Yeah, karma will catch up. For taking the easy route, the short road right now, you pay. And it's not that it's not, there's no implication of morality here necessarily. It's just about truth. Like, I mean, morality is like its own thing, I suppose, but it's truth, guys. And like, you can't run from truth. You can't run from the truth that is you. And this is why know thyself is of consummate importance. You cannot overstress it, overstate it. If you don't know yourself, if you don't know who you truly are, you can't live this life. You're just wandering aimlessly, and wandering aimlessly, like, where do you end up? The thing is, the universe will, every time we go wrong, the universe will always steer us back toward where we need to go. It's a matter of when the hell do we wake up and listen to it, and actually hear it and see it. The universe is giving us signs every day. It's always talking to us, guys. The universe does speak a language. It's a matter of us learning to speak that language. And the thing about that truth that resides within your heart is that it is the microcosm. It's the microcosm of this, and that's why know thyself is so vital, because you are like the little version of this great big universe. We're all like kind of like the mini atom, like the atom that makes the entire organism. Like, we're a part of it. And so because the universe speaks a language, so does our heart. Our heart is like a mini manifestation of this great cosmos. I'm sure I'm losing some people. That's okay. When you learn the language of your heart, you learn the language of the universe. When you learn, the idea is this, it's simple. It's when you know yourself, you know the universe. Don't take this in the wrong way. This is not meant to sound in the arrogant way that it might come off, but when you know yourself, you know everything. In that you become one. You become one with all things. You just get it. The answer is within, guys. The answer is always within. And that is why it's walk in your own power. There is no other way. There is nothing else. If you are not in if you're not one with you and one with the universe as a corollary, if you're not walking in your own power, if you are not walking the path of that purpose, of that divine purpose, you're not doing anything. We're not doing anything if that's what we're choosing to do. The problem is most of the time we're living in darkness and we don't even understand that there is a purpose. And that's kind of the ultra metaphysical question that gets really complicated. Is, well, how do you wake up? How do you come to know it? I wouldn't really complicate it. I think it's choice. You again, like, you can get super metaphysical and complicated. I kiss, right? Like, I think it's choice. I think you have to choose to wake up. I think the signs are everywhere. I think it's up to us to make that call. I think we have that choice every day, and most of us just are not making it because it's hard. Because again, it goes back to work. To do that, to walk in line with your purpose, it means you got to go through hella pain, guys. This shit's a long, hard road. And that ain't fun. And that's a whole, guys, that's a whole topic unto itself. I'm not going into, like, do the work and all that, but it's hard. Because, I guess maybe the last thing I'll say is that another reason that it is so hard is that in this world, at least the one that we live in, it's probably always been that way, you're not expected to walk to walk on the path of your truth. You're not expected to walk in your own power. You're expected to do what you're told. I'm going to say that again. Listen very closely. You are expected to do what you are told, not what you are meant to do, not what you are supposed to do by the hand of God or the divine power, or, again, however you envision whatever that is. We don't make the rules at the end of the day. We're mistaken in thinking that we do. And so everybody wants you to walk in their power. Everybody wants you to fulfill an agenda. That's what society is, guys. We're pawns. Like, we're pawns in the game. And so that's why ultimately the guy who walks in his own power is a rebel. He's a rebel because he's going to break society's pattern. He's not going to do what society wants him to do. He's going to do, hear me very closely, he's going to do what the divine power wants him to do. He's going to follow the lead of his heart, not the lead of society, not the lead of the construct, but the lead of truth, of the real thing, the reality that is beyond the reality that we see. There is something bigger, there is something deeper, and it's not this. It's not the job that you go to every day. It's not the TV that you watch. It's not, well, I ran out of examples, but it's not any of this. It's not meant to be ultra complicated or, again, like, crazy metaphysical. It's just, there's something bigger. And it's a matter of, what are you going to adhere to in this life? Are you going to adhere to the construct of society and the specified, like, ultra robotic role that you're expected to perform? Or are you going to be you? It's just a matter of waking up and understanding that there is no other path than being you. If you're not being you, if you're not, again, fulfilling that divine destiny that you were predestined for. I hate to say predestined because it sounds like I'm taking out the element of free will. I'm not. That's entirely a discussion to itself. But to be fated, to have a destiny even before you're born, doesn't mean you're absent free will. Just know and understand that for now. It's the simple explanation of that really is like that the beauty of fate is that we have the free will to chase it. Basically, our free will exists sort of inside the parameters of our fate. So it's like our duty in this life. And that's the operative word, really. It's duty. It is our duty in this life to fulfill that destiny. Destiny, fate being sort of synonymous. That's where we use our free will. I won't, go any deeper into that. But we don't have an option, guys. Don't like, I can only say it. I can only say it, and I can only live it myself. It for every individual, it has to really sink in. But there is no other option. We only have the option to adhere our destiny. It's all we can do. And to do that, we must walk in our own power. We can have no doubt. We can have no fear. And look, I don't want anybody getting it twisted. We will. It's gonna happen. It's inevitable. We will doubt. We will fear. A lot of times, it's about working in spite of those darknesses. It's just about working in spite of the obstacles, and that's okay. The goal obviously always is to transcend those fears and whatnot, but sometimes we do have to just work in spite. So remember that too. That's okay. That's okay. It's always about it's one of those, you know, sometimes that's how we exhibit our strength, is working in spite of, working, just like when you're doing push-ups, right? Like, it hurts like hell, of course. And after you've done, like, 50 in a row, you want to drop, but you keep pushing. Just simple example. So guys, it's work, and it's not easy to walk in your own power. It's not easy. It really is probably the hardest thing that we'll ever do in this whole life. And I just want you to remember that that's okay. That's not a bad thing. That's actually a good thing. It's actually the best thing, because it means we have a shot. The very fact that we have the privilege of going through that pain and that doubt and that fear and all that stuff, it means we're alive. It means we have a shot at fulfilling our destiny. It means we have a shot at infinity itself. We can do anything. Limits are not real. It's what we impose on ourselves. And when you walk in your own power, I'm gonna be ultra cliche, but you can do anything. So walk in your own power. Know that you can do it. It's not going to happen overnight. This is not like a motivational rah-rah, go get 'em, Tiger. I mean, there's some of that, but I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. I can't. It's hard. It's very hard, but it is inspirational in the sense that it can be done. It absolutely can be done. It's just a matter of faith. It's a matter of faith, guys. Faith is what it all comes down. And I mean, honestly, faith is just a synonym for the phrase walking in one's own power. It's really just a synonym. Like walking in one's own power. 5 words. You can break that down into one, basically. I haven't said that yet, but I'll just kind of wrap it up by saying that walking in one's own power is faith. It's having faith. So have faith. Walk in your own power. Know. And at the end of the day, be truly Spartan.